Hi guys, I'm Jessica Cameron.
And I'm Heather Dorff.
And surprise, we're in a hot tub.
Yes, and we're gonna do hot tub story time. So basically, we're gonna tell you a story of something that happened to us that is true. In this particular case, we're doing Christmas horror stories. Yeah.
Why? Because Christmas just happened not too long ago,
Mhm.
and we all have these horror stories. So if you like this, please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, and also comment below with your own horror story.
Yes, we'd love to hear.
Holiday horror story.
Holiday horror story. It doesn't have to be Christmas. How about just holiday horror story in light of the recent Christmas passing? So mine actually did happen on Christmas. I was staying with my ex-boyfriend, his family in Texas, and it was me, him, his mom, his grandmother, and his grandfather, and his dad. So, you know, they're all...
So like a shit ton of people.
A shit ton of people, and his family's also older because his mom didn't have him until she was in her like mid-30s, so she's like 60, you know what I'm saying? So everyone's older, like his grandmother's in her 90s, grandpa too. And we had brought our two dogs with us, Clark and Scotty at the time. And you guys know Clark the Doge. Well, when I first got Clark, for the first few years I had him, he was just, I mean, he was very sweet, but he was still a little, like, nervous and antisocial, and he would get scared very easily. And this went on for years, years and years. He's much better now, but at the time this was still pretty heightened, and it was his first time visiting the house. And they had this really big upstairs downstairs house. Well, we're sitting there eating dinner, and something happened to where his grandfather, who's like again in his 90s, got up and like went outside, and we're all eating dinner, and then he came back in. Well, about an hour later I'm calling Clark, and Clark will not come, and then the whole family, we're looking all over the house, and we can't find Clark anywhere, nor is he responding. He's not coming. And I just freak out. All of a sudden I realize, like, maybe I didn't know if when the grandfather went out, I asked him if he closed the door all the way, and he didn't. When he went outside, he left the door open. I'm like, oh my God, Clark has gotten out. Mind you, it is Christmas Eve. Like, we were having our Christmas Eve dinner. We were in the middle of it still when I realized, like, Clark wasn't coming or responding, and Scotty was there, and we looked everywhere. So what ended up happening was, when Scott's dad left with like someone else in the car and they started driving around, the grandfather stayed back. Me, Scott, his mother, and her mother, again like 90, are running around the street screaming Clark's name. It's Christmas Eve. Neighbors end up starting to help us. We do this for like 2 hours and cannot find this dog anywhere. And again, it is Christmas Eve, people. Christmas Eve. People are crying. We're all upset. Can't believe it. Da 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 da. Needless to say, one of our cell phones rings. We answer it, and it's his grandfather. Clark just randomly came out and was like walking down the stairs in the house, like out of nowhere. Probably because no one was there and he was scared how quiet it had gotten. But Clark was in the frickin' house the whole time. So after all this needless stress and running around and tears, and basically it ruined our holiday. It was especially embarrassing because it was like one of my first ones there. So yeah, that is my holiday horror story. I'm so glad in the end that Clark was okay. Because, you know, he was my fur baby. They're fur babies, and I did feel bad for ruining everyone's Christmas, but shit happens.
So I have a similar story, and also a very affectionate dog. Yeah, you just sit and stop licking me for like a minute, like 3 minutes actually. So when I got Romeo, which is currently my oldest male cat, but at the time he was my third cat, during the holiday break of my first year of university. So I got him knowing that I had 2 family cats at home, thinking that he would get along well with them instantly. And unfortunately for me, they were kind of always really mean and bossy to him, and they just didn't really get along like they should have, in my opinion. So when the holidays came by, because I got him at the very start. So in Canada, we have like a month or so off of college, at least, where 2 weeks are usually exams and then 2 weeks for family time. So I got him at the very start of that. So it was about 2.5 weeks before Christmas. So I decided, because I was in Toronto, that I was going to bring him home with me for Christmas, because I wanted to have some alone time with him, because he was also becoming really timid and getting, you know, beat up by the other girls. And I thought, let's give them some alone time and bring him home. So everyone was fine with that. I obviously had my own bedroom in my mom's and dad's house. So yeah. I brought him home, and Christmas Day comes, and I can't find my cat. He's not coming out. He was coming out every day before food.
Yeah.
So I had a stepsister who was there at the time, and she is less than responsible and was smoking and doing other stuff outside and leaving the door open. So I also thought he got out. So literally, at about 9 in the morning, until 9 or 10 at night, I literally spent all day, because we had like acres and acres, like 100 acres of property.
Land.
So I'm like outside all day, only coming in to like change my boots and my clothing because they were so soaked. Because keep in mind, this is also Canada in Christmas time.
It's cold.
So there's like a ridiculous amount of snow. And unfortunately it was snowing, so it was like you couldn't see like if there had been paw prints or anything. So I'm literally outside the entire time. After I looked everywhere inside the house, everywhere inside of my bedroom. Couldn't find him. This little black kitten. Convinced he was gone. So I'm already in like the mode of how long can I take off from work? How long can I take off from school? So I can find this cat. Because like no matter what, I'm either finding the cat alive or I'm finding the cat dead. But I'm not leaving here until I find this cat. And then I come inside, and I kid you not, I'm inside after like 12 or 13 hours, like a really long time. And like some of my family had helped, my dad was helping particularly, but the rest of them were kind of like, this is kind of crazy. And you know, I grew up in farm country, so they do love their pets, but they do view them as a little bit different. So like my aunts and uncles didn't really understand. My parents did, but my aunts and uncles didn't.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like all joking. I kid you not, I came inside and the goddamn cat comes like out from under the bed. So I think, because I checked under the bed, but it was like an old-fashioned bed. I think he must have been on one of the boards close to the actual frame.
Right.
So that when I looked up and under, I could see almost all of it, but I couldn't see like right up against the frame near my head, because like you're looking under, you're seeing like this.
Yeah.
Right, so he must have been in that part.
Corner, the one part you could see.
But luckily, you know, I still consider that a win personally. I was like, you know what, all I've been saying all day is the only thing I want for Christmas is my cat to be healthy and happy and
safe,
for me to save him.
Yeah.
So even though it took me 13 hours to realize that he wasn't outside, and I froze my ass off, and I went through like 4 different outfits of winter clothing that got soaked from running through the snow and dealing with the really difficult weather, the fact that he was alive and well was the only thing that I wanted for Christmas that year, and I still kind of consider myself to get that, because I was like, this is freaking amazing.
You did. I mean, I felt the same way. Like I said, I've never felt such crazy relief as when I came into the house, even after hours, even after like the embarrassment of knowing like that I wasted everyone's time, that we were all freaked out, that the neighbors were freaked out. I didn't care. At the end of the day, I'd much rather have my dog than not.
Yeah.
So
well, that's really like, that's what I was like, you know, all I wanted is for him to be healthy, and
right.
he was. So to me, I'm like, fuck time. There's always more time.
Yeah.
When it comes to your animals. But it could have been a much more difficult, much more nightmarish scenario.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
He could have not been in the house, but yeah.
And he would have been realistically, and that's like what my family was like. They're like, if he's outside for 13 hours or more in this weather, more because he would have come out at night, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, he's dead. He's not surviving this.
Too cold.
It was like minus 30 or something ridiculous. Which, if you don't know how cold that is, it's very, very, very cold. It's like cold enough that I was sweating because I was like running and freaking out so much, and in doing so, like my sweat was freezing.
Ew.
At like my temples, because it was so cold. Yeah, that's how cold. It's so cold where I come from that the runners and the marathon trainers, like all the athletes, they have to put pig's fat and stuff on their face.
Oh,
because if you're outside training for any length of time in the winter, your skin can actually freeze and crack. And it's incredibly painful. And because it's farm country, we have a lot of pig fat. So you slather pig fat and it prevents your skin from freezing and cracking.
This sounds really disgusting.
So I was like out there all day, like determined to find my cat. I was like, I don't care if I find him dead, but I have to just find him. And then my dad at one point helped me, a side note, and swore he saw like a black cat like run. So again, it was like further. He probably did, but it wasn't my black cat, but we thought it was like a sign that he was alive.
Yeah.
If you guys have ever lost a pet, comment below and tell us your horror story.
Yeah, or if you have any other holiday horror story, we'd love to hear, because, you know, we all have them, whether it be our family fighting or, you know, whatever it is. Definitely let us know. But otherwise, we hope that you enjoyed the holiday season and are ready for the new year, because we know we are.
And if you want to hear more holiday horror stories, I know I have a few more. Just let us know below.
Alright guys, have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you so much for checking out Scream Queen Stream. We hope you loved it as much as we do.
If you want to see more of our videos, check out our YouTube page. And while you're there, how about you subscribe? You want to see more? Just tweet us. Find us on Facebook. Join in on the fun.
And most importantly, if you really want to join us on this crazy ride, check out our Patreon page and become a patron for amazing, awesome perks that we give out monthly.
As well as early access to all of our videos.
Free giveaways.
And a whole lot more fun shit.
So check it out.
We'll see you there.
Stay bloody.
You stole my tagline.
I did.
You're a horrible friend.